Hello everyone, it's Kelly here from spiritualawakeningsigns.com, and today we're doing a video on how to skyrocket your ascension process. So how to speed that process up, how to really raise your vibration as quickly as you can and without the unnecessary awakening struggles. And I really stress that they're unnecessary. There's no need to go through it and for it to be so incredibly difficult. If that's what's happening, then this is the perfect video for you, because we're going to be covering what you can do to make it much easier, and there absolutely is an answer, so don't worry about that if you're struggling with that. Now, what I need to tell you before we get into any of this content is actually how the awakening process has completely changed. Now, this is a kind of new thing, really over the most recent years. The awakening process itself has started to change. The way that we awaken and the way that we move through that ascension process has started to completely change. Because what it used to be was that people would go through an awakening, it would take a long span of time, like most of their lives. Sometimes it would take up to 20 years. Of course, there are cases where it was faster than that, but generally that was what was happening. Not that many of us had gone through the awakening process. It was a slower process, it was more gradual. So while it was difficult, it was still manageable to move through. So all the things that you needed to heal, to clear, to move into those higher levels of ascension and higher raised vibration were a bit more manageable to do. You could move through it at a slower pace, you could take your time, and you could kind of reflect on things as you moved through them. It was more manageable alongside normal daily life. Now in recent years, awakening has changed. The process of awakening has changed. Now we are going through awakening en masse. It's happening all over the world. It's happening to thousands of people, so many people, and it's happening really fast. So we're getting pushed through the awakening process faster than ever before, forced to raise our vibration more quickly than we're actually able, and it tends to have a really big impact on the physical body. It puts us under a lot of physical strain, a lot of mental and emotional strain, and of course your energies just struggle to keep up with the process. They don't know what's going on. So this is how it's changed. It used to take a long time, it used to be much more easy to manage. Now we're being forced through it in a very short period of time, which is making our awakening symptoms really difficult. That's where you can start to feel like it's like, have I lost my mind? I don't really understand what's going on, and I don't know how to keep up with the speed that this process is moving at. So it has completely changed. Now, fortunately, there are things that you can do to make this process much easier, and there's no question about it. You absolutely need support to move through the awakening journey. That's not to say that it can't be done on your own. It can, but it'll take a lot longer, and it'll be a lot more challenging to move through those painful and difficult parts of awakening. Get some support and make it easier on yourself to move through that process. Now, I'd like to just invite anyone who's watching live, please say hello, tell us who you are and where you're from. I can see a few people have joined us already. We've got Anne. Hello there, Anne. Lovely to see you again. We've got Rob from Alberta. Fantastic. We've got people joining us today, so thank you very much. Now let's get into what you can do to make it a lot easier. Well, my first recommendation, absolutely 100% every single time to every single client, would be energy healing. You need to work on the level where the problem's occurring, and the problem is occurring on the soul level. It's a soul level purge. It's bringing up all the emotion, it's bringing up all the past life issues, it's bringing up all the symptoms that you're getting, it's changing your energy vibration. It's happening on an energetic level, so you must address the energy level. If you don't do that, your awakening is going to be difficult, and if your awakening's been really difficult so far, that's probably why, because you're not really doing enough to support your energies and to heal your energies, to heal the issues that are coming up through your energies, to help you raise into those higher vibrations. Now, the best way to do that is with energy healing meditations. That's what we provide, and that was really what I was driven to create here at Spiritual Awakening Signs. Absolutely, it was guidance from the guides that I work with who support us on the awakening pathway. It was do meditations, put energy healing into them, and help people get through this stuff. Just move as fast as possible out of the challenge and make it easier on their energies as they're moving on up. And that's what we do. We have a huge range of energy healing meditations. It's meditation with a purpose. You're not just sitting resting, which is still lovely, and you're not just trying to find stillness. It's about actually getting the energy healing that you need to make the changes within your energy system, to bring in the energies that you need that you might not have, to support your energies so that they're not like completely overcharged or going crazy throughout the process, because that happens to your energies too. And just being able to ground yourself so that you can be steady as you move into these higher levels. That's what's really the most important thing of all. So any aspect of awakening that you need help with, we have a meditation for that, because I really felt it was important that people had support, and that it could be specialised support. Now, there are a few different routes that you can take if you're going through awakening. Of course, you can see an energy healer regularly. You can go and see someone, an intuitive healer. You can pick someone specific. But the most important thing, no matter how experienced they are, is that they have experienced spiritual awakening, that they have actually gone through that process. Because what I found when I started to work on this process is that a lot of people were doing healing for me, and they were very talented healers. They were wonderful healers. The problem was that they hadn't worked with spiritual awakening before, and they tended to unintentionally do more harm than good. They didn't realise that my energies were different, and that your energies are different. Your energies are very sensitive when you're going through the awakening process, and you really need someone who understands all the different intricacies of that to be able to help you in a way that's not going to make it worse, because that can really happen. And that's why we created our energy healing meditations, and we cover every topic that you could possibly need in spiritual awakening. So we've taken it a topic at a time. Things like focusing on the pineal gland. Maybe you want to activate and decalcify your pineal gland. Maybe you want to work on light worker issues, so you can clear the issues and activate the light worker within. Maybe you want to heal your heart. You can work on heart pain. We took it in different themes so that you can listen to the meditation, get the energy healing, just like seeing an energy healer experienced in spiritual awakening, and making those adjustments for you. It's very, very powerful stuff, and you can use them again and again as often as you need to keep working through the layers. So there's no added expense. You just repeat it whenever you want to work that a little bit more deeply, which is wonderful. So I can see Helen has asked here, is depression an awakening symptom? It absolutely can be. It's very common in awakening to go through quite a lot of depression, because like I said, we're starting to purge all that emotion from the soul. So there's lots of depression, a lot of sadness. We can have fear, we can have anxiety, we can have anger. All sorts of different emotions are coming up to be healed. The key is that when they come up, to use energy healing to get them cleared out. Otherwise, you're just going to keep cycling around in that same emotional feeling over and over and over again. So it's very important that is shifted. That is very important. So please focus on that, and you'll find that it will start to help. But always take care of your physical health. Always check out the 3D as well. Make sure you're going to your doctor. Make sure you're getting things checked out and not just assuming that it must be awakening, because sometimes we need the work on the 3D level and the spiritual levels to be able to help. I can see Anne is asking, do we have a meditation for the solar plexus? We don't have one specifically for the solar plexus, but I'll put it on the list. Thank you for mentioning it. We don't have one specifically for it, but I'll have a look through. I think we've got a few where it's actually, there are solar plexus healings within them. So I'll have a check or have a look through the list of meditations and see if you resonate with one. Usually if you look at them and you look down the list and you see what one kind of pulls and you look at what it's for, you'll see that it resonates or there's something in it that you needed. So that's a great way to do it as well. Okay, so the great thing about using energy healing is that it's really going to fast track your awakening. So like I said, awakening used to take a really long time. Now it happens in a really short space of time, and it's really intense. The reason that it gets really intense is when all this stuff comes up from the soul to be purged and we don't do anything with it, because it just cycles round and round, keeps us stuck in the emotional feelings, the negativity and the life patterns that keep repeating over and over and over again. We don't want that. If you can use energy healing to clear the stuff that's coming up, what you'll find is it's like taking blocks out of your energy field. It's like taking that weight of negativity and all those burdens. You're literally lightening the spirit enlightenment. You're lightening the spirit by getting rid of all that negative energy. So please use energy healing when these things come up so that you're actually moving forward. You're pushing through this stuff and starting to move forward in a really positive way. It's very powerful and it will really shift your awakening massively. Okay, so absolutely, you can fast track your awakening and you can avoid that unnecessary struggle, and I really stress unnecessary. It doesn't have to be incredibly difficult. It's always going to be challenging. Awakening is a challenging process, but it doesn't need to be this horrendous struggle that lasts for years and years and years. Just use the healing to help you move past the blocks that are coming up, or what you feel guided in your soul needs to be addressed, and just get moving on, you know, get into those higher vibrations and feel better. That's the most important thing. Now, if you're interested in any of that, we have a whole school full of meditations, and like I said before, I advise you to take a little look down through the list and just see what your soul responds to. Sometimes you'll find that it's a colour that stands out to you, or the word stands out to you, or you just keep looking back at one and you think, I want to have a look at that. And when you look at the page for everything that it covers, you'll probably find that it's something that resonates with you, because your soul's showing you what it is that you need to heal, and then you'll have an idea of what it is that needs cleared within your system. Anne says, I use your energy healing meditation daily. That's fantastic. My days are much more normal. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. And I'm so glad to hear that you're getting good benefit from it. It really does make a difference. And I think trying to find normality throughout spiritual awakening is, you know, near impossible. So, you know, having something that you can come back to heal, to ground, to level yourself out is really important. And I'm delighted that it's helping. Fantastic. So like I said, you can take a look at the link below and see what it is that needs cleared in your system if you're just working intuitively, or see if there's something that might be a fit for what you're looking to heal and clear in your awakening just now. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Remember to click below to be notified whenever we go live, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and give us a little thumbs up. We really, really appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon.